You don't need an expensive SEO team to rank number 1 on Google in 2026. I have used this 5-prompt Claude system to rank 200 plus local businesses on the first page of Google. Comment prompt if you want access to the full prompt system. Now let's jump into the video and I'll show you how to use the prompt system. It's the same prompt system using which we were able to take this automotive garage from literally 0 to 1000 clicks per day, and they went from 0 to $2.8 million in organic search revenue. Similarly, this home remodeling contractor, you can see they're ranking in top 3 all across. This HVAC contractor, they went from 140 calls in November to 315 calls in January, and we were able to almost 3x their revenue. This is another business, you can see the kind of growth they're already seeing. So the same prompt system works so well across businesses. I have been doing SEO for close to 14 years, and this is a full prompt system, full 22 prompt system, and just comment prompt and you'll get access to all of it. But today in this video, I'll show you the top 5 prompts out of this 22 prompt system that is actually going to change the game for you. So the first prompt in this prompt system list is the very first one, which is telling Claude co-work and giving it the full access to your business and allowing it to build a brain around it. So generally what you do is with any other AI chat engine or any other AI that you talk to, you're basically asking it for generic advice. But with this particular prompt system that I have built, what you're doing is you're building a brain inside that AI. So with Claude co-work, what we are doing is we are giving it all of the information that it would ever need about your business. So things like team size, service market, your website, your Google business profile URL. So we are giving direct access to your website URL, your Google business profile URL, what exactly is that you do, what service you provide, what are your service areas, secondary services, all of that information we are giving directly there. Like I said, it's building a brain inside of Claude even before it starts giving you any suggestion. Because what the major problem that I see with any AI spitting out SEO advice in general is it is very generic in nature. So it will give the same advice for a home service contractor like a roofer and a doctor, whereas this SEO advice that needs to be given for both of them is very different, right? So this, what it does is it clearly tells and it makes Claude very similar to like as an SEO consultant in-house. So for example, if Elementor marketing comes into your business and helps you grow, it would be very similar to Claude coming into your business and becoming an SEO in-house consultant for your business as well. So this would be the first prompt. Obviously filling out this prompt may take some time, so take your time, fill it out, give it 10-15 minutes it deserves, and you need to do this only once. That's the great part of it. But once you have done this, once that brain has been built inside Claude, then your life becomes so much easier from here onwards on doing whatever you're going to do with Claude on your project. That's first. Second very important prompt is GBP category audit. So GBP category and subcategories, these are the most important ranking factor when it comes to Google business profile. And if you are a local business, your Google business profile would probably get you 60 to 70% of your calls. So here you can see for a business, we are working at Elementor Marketing. And by the way, if you want to work with us, you can go here at Elementor Marketing and click on get started button and book a call with us. The link would also be in the description. So we were able to up the number of calls by 72% year over year in December. So one of the main things that we did for it was did a very detailed GBP category audit. So the category that is reflecting on your Google business profile has to be very much in line with what you do and what your competitors have listed as the category. One of the major mistakes I see with business owners is they will just select categories based on the hunch that they have, like, okay, if I do XYZ services, probably this is the closest category that I feel. This prompt just takes away all of that guesswork from you. It will actually go ahead and do all of that manual labor for you. So it will look at all of your competitors, extract what are the primary categories they have, what are the secondary categories they have. Then it will come back with all of that information with you and tell you exactly which primary category you should select, which should be your secondary categories. So it just takes away all of that hassle of you doing anything based on your hunch and actually getting right all of that information. So this is another one, GBP attributes audit. But I feel like because I have to select only the top 5 that are going to give you the best results, let's move on to other one. Competitor review teardown. This is the third one that I feel would give you the best possible ROI from prompts. So what this particular prompt does, and as the name suggests, is it will go at your Google business profile and your competitors Google business profile, and it will do like a complete review teardown of it. So typically as a business owner, you know that you must get reviews, but how many reviews you actively need to get versus how many reviews your competitors are going to get. There's a term called review velocity. One term is total number of reviews, which is very important obviously, but let's say you enter a new market and the other competitor competitors have 100 plus reviews already. So then by that logic, if they have 100 plus reviews, a new business would never have a chance to rank, right? But that's not how Google works. Google also has a counter metric that they work on, which is called review velocity, which is how many new reviews are being added every week to a Google business profile. And from Google's perspective, they do not have access to your CRM, right? So that's the best possible way for Google to see if a business is getting viral in that area. Are people actually going to a newer business more than an older business? So if you are getting more number of reviews actively to your business on a week basis, so I'm an older player, I'm only getting 5 reviews a week, versus a new business has come in and they're getting 10 reviews every week. That is a very, very clear signal to Google that the new business is more viral in that area. People are going to more, probably it's a better business, so now they deserve to rank higher. So review velocity is a very important ranking factor. Now what this prompt does is it gives you total review count. So it will go to your listing and 3 of your top competitors, and you have to give Google Map URL of them. It will scrape them for all of this information, and this is like the holy grail of everything that you need to know about from a reviews perspective. Total review count, average star rating, how many reviews in the last 30 days, so review velocity of last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. What in the reviews also, what is being mentioned, so what are the things that are being mentioned in the reviews? What are people mentioning services in the reviews? Are they mentioning any neighborhood and cities in the reviews? Because if in a review, if the customer is mentioning any cities or location or services, it has significantly higher value than a review that just says good work or I like their service. The reviews having any mention of the name of the city or service has significantly more weightage. So this is something it will show you also, that if they are collecting reviews, are they actually collecting reviews with a mention of city or services or not? Any recurring complaints or negative themes. This is also very, very critical, that you can see what are customers complaining about your competitors, and that is a great way for you to actually improve upon in your service. So if people are kind of fed up of something about your competitors, that is what you can do better in your business, and that becomes like a USP already. So if they are always late, for example, and your business is always on time, you can actually get that mentioned in your reviews that you are always on time. And then when Google's algorithm is looking at reviews on both, it becomes a significant point for Google to recommend you than others. So these are the 3 prompts. Then the review response strategy is also a very good one, that when a customer is leaving a review on it, when it's a good review, then no problem at all. I mean, everyone can reply to a good review, thank you and all of that. But even those, and also negative reviews, how do we actually, and particularly negative reviews, because I see a lot of business owners, what they would do is, if there's a negative review, they would either not touch it, or if they touch it, it's more of in a fighting sense where they are just attacking that customer, and that leaves a very, very negative sense in both for new customers as well as for Google. So what this does, it is going to go and look at both you and all of the competitors, and it will give you all of the data in terms of total review responses versus how many negative responses are there. How did they respond? Did they apologize, or they offer a resolution, or they got defensive? So this is also something that will give you full clarity into how your competitors are operating. So if, let's say for example, if you come across, okay, the number 1 ranking competitor, they get very defensive anytime a negative review comes, that is again a very good point for you to understand that if in future sometime you get a negative review, you know for a fact that people would look at it, that when, if I'm going to get a service, and if I go to the number 1 site and I'm checking their reviews, and I see the owner is fighting customers, whereas I come to you and I see, okay, you also had a negative review, but the way you handled that situation and the way you replied to that review and overall handling of the situation was much better, I would feel as a customer so much more trust in your business than that business, because I feel like I would get attacked by any chance I didn't get a good service there and I left a negative review. The owner of that business would pretty much come after me, whereas here the owner of the business has a much calmer head on his shoulders. There's a good chance I would get a better service. So all of that, this is another one. And then there's GBP post strategies. Like I said, there's 22 prompts here, but another one that I would like to tell you is money page audit. This is another one that will give you really good ROI. So what you have to do is use GSC for it, and if you have not set up GSC is this software. It's Google Search Console. It's a free software. It only records traffic coming from organic Google search. So go ahead and set it up today for your website. And what it will do is it will look for the last 3 months and export all of the queries, and then it will identify which keywords are ranking between position 4 to 15. If your website is ranking for keywords in the position 4 to 15, you are kind of sitting on a gold mine, because no one basically clicks on between sites that are ranking between position 4 to 15. But just with some extra push, they can be brought into top 3, and top 3 is where all of the clicks are, right? Like I said, sitting on a gold mine but not really doing anything about it. So this money page audit would be magical for your business. So let's say if you're ranking for 20 keywords in top 3 but 80 keywords are ranking between position 4 to 15, even if you're able to get 40 of these keywords in top 3, already your website traffic would get doubled. So that is where this prompt would become magical for you. So these would be the top 5 prompts that would just be magical for your business in general. So these are the first 5 prompts that I'll try. Overall there are 22 prompts and each prompt is better than the other one, better than the last one for that matter. So I definitely give all of them a try. But the first thing that, like I said, I'll do is build a brain inside Claude. So Claude knows exactly everything about the business and it's not hallucinating, it's not giving you false advice or advice generic to every business. What we want is advice exactly tailored to our business. So if you run an e-commerce business, if you run a local business, all we want is that the advice must be tailored to our business. So for that, it's always this particular prompt is what you want to use. Build the brain and then start giving it prompts one by one. We'll see the magic of Claude happening. Anyway, if you got some value from this one, hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. Drop a comment below with any of your questions. I read each comment and try and reply to each one of your questions with a very detailed answer. So make sure you drop your questions in the comments below. And subscribe if you want more AI and SEO related content every week. By the way, we took one business from 0 to $1.7 billion in revenue just through SEO in 11 months. If you want results like that for your business, link to book a call with us at Alventra Marketing is in the description. See you in the next one.